Hey everybody, it's John Tabita. I'm a blogger and a content marketer, and if you follow me on Twitter, then you probably know that one of the things I do is I write for SitePoint. And I thought it would be interesting. This is the first time I've done a Periscope, so if you've gone on and you see an untitled one from me, it's because I don't know what I'm doing and I forgot to give it a title. So this is the actually official one. So I read an article for SitePoint, and it's called The Future of SEO, and I thought that it'd be interesting to do a scope about it and talk about it. It went live today, and I find it interesting that there's even a verb now. We call it scoping, scope for Periscope. It's app's only been around for a short period of time, yet we're already using it as a verb. So if you're just joining me, great. I'm going to talk a little bit about the article and what I wrote. So I'm not a thought expert on search engine optimization like Danny Sullivan, somebody like that. But when I decided to write this article on this particular topic and take this approach on it, it was really interesting to see where search engine optimization is going. It's almost like, as I began researching the article, it's almost like it's getting into the realm of science fiction. We're talking about things like artificial intelligence, stuff like that. So the whole concept of semantic search. So semantics is simply a branch of linguistics that focuses on the study of meaning. So semantic search is Google's attempt to figure out what the user or the searcher's intent is behind the search and not just focus on the specific keywords of the search. I'll give you an example. The company I work for, we actually have 3 divisions, and one of the divisions, one of the things that they do is email marketing. And so I've been in the process of redesigning their website, and they told me they wanted a page that was titled email deployment. Now my first thought is, who searches for email deployment? Nobody would search for that word. So of course I went on Google, I Googled it, and when I Googled email deployment, the results I got was email marketing. Hey, thanks for the hearts, guys. So Google understands that deployment, email marketing, it's the same thing. It understood my intent behind my search. So that's the whole concept of semantic search. So I've got the article up here. So the article's on SitePoint. It went live today. Let me show it to you right there. There it is, The Future of SEO. It's on sitepoint.com. Went live today, like I said. So check out the article. There's a few comments on there already, and hey, jump in there, make some comments. I'm going to jump in, and I'll be responding to some of the comments and making some of my own. So it'll be interesting to see, who was here, saw my scope, went to SitePoint, read the article, and then made some comments. So that's going to be an interesting little experiment that I like to really see how that turns out. So I encourage you to go. Go to SitePoint and check it out. So if you're just joining me again, I'm talking about the future of SEO, and in the title, now if you swipe from the right on iPhone or up from an Android, you're going to see the title. I put SitePoint in there so that you know that it's a SitePoint article on there. I don't work for SitePoint. I write for them, but I don't work for them. I'm not an employee, just so you know that that's not the case here. But I'm one of the authors on SitePoint.com. So, title of the article is The Future of SEO. So, as SEO continues to progress, back in the early days, I remember when I was first building my first website in the late 90s, and the whole idea of SEO and how it worked and trying to get to the top of the search engines, and what we did is we stuffed the meta tags with all your keywords, and that was supposed to get you ranking, and it didn't work, it did work, and it was all keyword based. And then of course Google came along, and Google said, well, we don't think this system doesn't really work very well, so we're going to come up with a whole new system based on incoming links. When somebody links from your website to another website to your website, that's like a vote. So Google came up with this whole concept of inbound links as a vote and PageRank and things like that, and so that made it harder to game the system. Yet SEOs, people who do this kind of stuff, we're smart people. We figure out a way around it. So a lot of SEOs figured out black hat techniques, which basically game the search engines again, built link farms and things like that. And then again, Google tries to deal with that with their algorithmic updates. and they try to get around that and keep people from spamming the results. But the bottom line is Google really can't tell the difference between, you know, an earned link versus, you know, a bought link, a paid link, a manipulated link, if you want to call it that. So it's still very difficult for them to tell. And so in some ways the system is still kind of broken. And here's another way I think it's broken. So if I'm a local business, so we have clients all around central New York, central Ohio, and these clients are small local business owners. Now Google was supposed to make the web level the playing field. That was the whole idea of the internet. It leveled the playing field. Anybody could get good ranking on Google, so small companies could compete with national brands. But really what's happening is, if I have to generate tons and tons and tons of content to be able to get rankings so that somebody can find my content and then eventually find me as a small business owner, I'm already at a disadvantage. Because if I'm a small business owner, I'm very busy running my business, not writing content. I'm probably not a good author. I'm probably good at trimming trees. I might be good at grooming dogs. Whatever I'm good at, that's what I'm good at, and I may not necessarily be very good at creating content. So I'm at a disadvantage because the big brands can hire legions of content writers, write tons of content, boost their rankings, and the small business owner is at a disadvantage. So in some ways the system's still broken, but the whole idea of semantic search now instead, so Google is more moving towards becoming away from a search engine and more towards becoming an answer engine. So they're answering questions. For example, my air conditioning, which you can't see it, but it's right over back there. It broke down, and when it did, we got a new unit. And so I immediately had a couple of questions. One question was, do I need to cover my air conditioning unit in the winter? My father-in-law has always said, yeah, you need to cover the air conditioning unit because it snows here in the winter. So that was a question I had. I went online, went to Google, did a search, and I got my answer, which, by the way, is no, I don't need to. The other question I had, which was really more of a problem, was why does the upstairs stay hot? Now I understand heat rises, and the old unit, you know, it always would stay hotter upstairs. So my wife and I had hoped with the new unit that a more powerful, newer unit would stay cooler upstairs, but it actually was worse. So that was another problem I had. Why is this happening? So when I called the air conditioning company, they explained to me that there's these vents, these pipes along in the basement that connect to the air conditioning unit, and there's these handles you turn, and you can cut off the airflow on the lower level, the upstairs, you know, first floor level. It sort of forces the air to the second floor. I didn't know that, so I had to go on Google and Google a YouTube video that would explain to me how it was done, so I could see it visually and stuff like that. So these are ways that Google is needing to answer questions, because we all have questions. So Google is more and more moving into becoming an answer engine instead of just a search engine. So as SEO begins to move this way, it's really the concept of disruptive technology. We're all familiar with what disruptive technology is, even if we don't know the name of it. So it's, you know, it's BlackBerry being disrupted by the iPhone. You know, it's film being disrupted by the digital cameras. All that is disruption. So my thought here is that, is Google trying to disrupt its own system by moving away from keywords as a ranking factor and moving more towards semantic search? Are they disrupting their own system? And if they are, where does that leave the current people, people that are working in SEO? Are you going to be disrupted and obsoleted when a new technology comes and changes the game? Or does the skill set that you have, can you transfer over? Can you adapt? Can you modify? Can you become a new type of SEO? Because SEO's changed. Think about what it was before. Talked about, you know, manipulating meta tags, keywords, things like that, link farms. To now, SEO falls under the realm of where my expertise is, which is, you know, more of blogging, content marketing, social media. All of that now falls under the realm of search engine optimization, because if you're going to hire a search engine optimization firm, who's not doing content marketing, who's not doing any social media on your behalf, then you're not doing the full amount of SEO work that needs to be done to get you top ranking. So now suddenly what I do falls under search engine optimization. So can one person be a content marketer, a writer, a blogger, a social media person? Can they understand semantic search and how to properly optimize the page for semantic search? Can they do all the various different things? I'm just going to look at my article here a little bit, and some of the obvious skill sets involved. It becomes wider and wider. So you need to be a technical SEO. You need to understand how on-page optimization works. That's a given, okay? You have to understand how user experience fits into the whole process as well too, because these are all factors for search engine ranking. There's the whole content marketing thing we talked about. There's the analytical aspect of SEO, being able to analyze pages, see why your visitors aren't converting, and essentially just fix it. Then there's the technical aspects of it, things like load speed, server speed, things that more of an IT person would understand. So can one person really totally understand everything that needs to know? Or so does somebody have to be even more generalized and more rounded? Or now is search engine optimization something that an entire team needs to do, and maybe the new generation of the SEO is somebody who manages and oversees the content marketer, the technical SEO person, on and on and on. And these are questions that we really don't know the answer to, and part of what this article is about is, generating some discussion. So if you have some comments and questions, I encourage you to go to sitepoint.com, and on the front page you'll basically see the list of articles. You'll see mine there, The Future of SEO. Check it out, jump in, make some comments, and I encourage you to follow me. If you swipe up from Android, right from iPhone, you'll see my Twitter handle. You can follow me right there. If you're not following me on Twitter, it's johntabita.com, JOHNTABITA @JohnTabita. That's my Twitter handle. So I encourage you to follow me on Periscope, follow me on Twitter. And that's about it. Thanks everybody for joining. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time.